Hello everybody and welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We're going to be painting this really nice mountain forest landscape that can be used as a design for a Father's Day card or any greeting card for that matter. So what we're going to start out with is painting the mountain. So basically I'm going to have a group of trees over here, a group of trees over here, and then a mountainscape in the center. And because I want my trees to overlap with the mountain, I'm just starting with the mountain to establish that in the center. Whenever I start painting, I always regret my decision of not cleaning my palette before I start the painting. Okay, so I'm gonna have my mountain starting here, and if you are not familiar with painting mountains, I do encourage you to check out my I released a tutorial on mountains where I show 4 different ways or 4 techniques of painting mountains, and that is a great place to start. If you just want to go at it, feel free to stay on this video. But basically what I'm doing is creating like half of my mountain is going to be darker shaded because the light source is going to come from the left side. So I'm just kind of painting the top of the mountain. And it's going to fade out this way where my trees, my cluster of trees are going to be. So I'm just fading that out. I'm just creating kind of lighter mountains on this side. So the key to painting mountains, and what you'll see in that mountain painting tutorial if you do choose to watch it, is the key is adding shading in very specific parts. So you always want to take into consideration your light source. So choose wherever your light source is coming from. That's totally up to you to decide. So I've chosen that my light source, like I said before, is coming from the left. And so I've chosen to make the shadowy part of my mountain on the right. And because this set of mountains over here is supposed to be a little bit more faded, I'm just going over certain areas a little bit darker on top of it to make it look like it's shaded and that this kind of section is in the background. Luckily, the mountains are not the focal point of our painting here, so you don't have to focus too much on it or get too, caught up in the details here. I just really like taking my time and painting mountains because I love painting them. And sometimes letting the paint just kind of go wherever it wants to ends up working out quite nicely. If your background is already, if it's still wet, just dabbing on paint in random areas sometimes looks really nice. Okay, so for now, I think I'm happy with my mountain. I say that as I keep adding more details. You can just honestly, it's kind of a never-ending thing with mountains. You can just keep adding shading and details. Sometimes it'll look really great, sometimes it won't. I'm happy with this for now, so I'm gonna leave that. And now I'm just gonna paint the sides. So I'm gonna paint the trees on either side here. You might wanna wait until this completely dries before you do that. I encourage that, but I am impatient, so I am going to keep going. I'm going to mix my green in the meantime. So I am using just a combination of different greens here, but the key thing is adding black, at least for me, because I don't have very dark greens. So adding black really intensifies those colors. So I'm gonna just start on this side since there's more room here. I'm gonna make my pines that are on like closest to the edge, they are going to be the tallest. And again, I'm gonna plug in another little advertisement for my other tutorials, but I've released several pine tree tutorials that go into depth on different pine tree techniques, realistic ones, quick ones, pine trees for specific backgrounds and landscapes. I have one which is actually the most popular video on my channel. It has over 100,000 views now. I go over 4 different techniques or 4 ways of painting pine trees, similar to the 4 ways of painting mountains tutorial. So please check that one out if you're not really familiar with painting pine trees, or you haven't really found your technique yet, or your method, the way that you like painting them. I explore 4 different ones there, so you're welcome to take a look. I also recently, or I guess no, when this video goes live, it won't be that recent anymore, but I did release a video recently at the time of recording this, a very detailed, specific pine tree tutorial, which you're welcome to check out as well. So let's see. I'm not sure how far down to take this. I think I might go a little bit farther down. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my next tree, and my next tree is going to be a tiny bit lower in height compared to the first one that I painted there. I have a little bit too much water on my paintbrush here. And this one is going to overlap with the previous one. Now, because this one is still wet, it will probably blend really nicely. We'll see. Oops. I don't know how I picked up red there. Alrighty. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue to my next one to spruce up the color a little bit. And this one, I'm gonna have it sort of go in between two trees, so I'm not gonna paint it all the way down. It's gonna sort of end there, I think. And I'm gonna take my super dark one again. So here you can explore your pines however you want. You can paint them on however you want in terms of heights and where they start and whatnot. I'm just experimenting, kind of making it up as I go. Okay, so I'm happy with this side. I might come back to it and paint a few smaller trees just on the inside here to sort of nicely fade it into the mountain side. But I'm gonna just switch over to the left side here, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did on this side. So here what I'm doing is I rinsed off my brush a little bit so that it was quite faded. It didn't have that much pigment on it. And I'm extending both sides in these, and I'm kind of painting on these blotchy brush strokes, just extending this towards the center. I just rinsed off my brush one more time to take off even more pigment, and then a third time, so that when they fade in the middle, or they meet in the middle, it fades really nicely, really naturally. Extend some of these blotchy sections into points so that it looks like there are some very faded pine trees just growing in the far, far distance. Okay, so you can just leave it here if you just wanted to paint a really nice, nature landscape, but you're also welcome to write either at the top or the bottom, Happy Father's Day, get well soon, thinking of you. It can be whatever greeting card you would like. But that is basically it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.